Attention, ladder 17, rescue 1, respawn 1432, Kingston and Essex for 84 Essex Street. 84 Essex Street, ladder 17. Ladder 17 has that. Rescue 1. Rescue 1's on Essex Street, we have fire showing second floor. Rescue 1.
Another training session. Today we're going to be looking at a different way to deploy the attack lines. We're going to be looking at experimenting with what's called the triple load or an S load. The whole genesis of this was just trying to look at different ways to deploy it, a safer way to deploy it, and a way that will save on working out all the kinks or perhaps the bunches of hose that we end up either outside of a house or near a car or whatever the case may be. I've been looking over that for a few years now and seeing that there's probably some things that we can clean up with that. So Lieutenant Thrasher and some other individuals in the department had come up with looking at this particular hose load. So we'll see a demonstration of that today, and we'll all look at this tape and then also practice with the hose and packing it up, and then we'll start implementing it and using it, and just kind of get some feedback. Now, it's written in stone, but we can try it out and see how it works, something new, different, hopefully save on our backs a little bit. I know the 200 footer on the rear is a little tough to get on and off, and I think you'll see in this demo that that 200 footer can be deployed very easily, as well as this crosslay with not a very complicated reloading process and a very easy deployment. And also the other thing we'll see in the tape here is we have a couple of lines on 21 now that have pistol grips on them, so take a look at that, and we'll see how folks like that set up, and if it's something that works, then perhaps we can get them for all the lines. If it's not, so you can just take them out. So keep an open mind and enjoy what the group here has presented, and hopefully we'll move forward with this process, and we'll all learn something.
Okay, so this is the Minuteman load, which we're currently using, and we'll show you how that deploys heading for the same door, and you can compare how this pulls off the truck. Now as he's heading to the door, he's got 150 feet of line on his shoulder, which is maneuverable, but at the same time, when he gets to the door, he's going to have that line to lose. So now you also have a greater potential for kinks, because as he's falling off the shoulder, sometimes you get this, and then you still have that pile over by the door, which somebody's going to have to tend to. And the thing to remember too is now when we go to repack this line, we're going to have to break down all the couplings and then load it the way we currently do in the Minuteman load. It all has to be redone in sections from the bottom up. So we have to break the line down instead of draining it and tripling it up and putting it back on the truck. Okay, so now we're going to show how to deploy the triple load. We're going to be treating the side entrance door to the front apparatus floor as our destination. And all the guy's going to do is he's going to grab the pistol grip nozzle with the biter line through it, treating it as one hose, and he's going to head for the door, and you'll see how it pulls off the truck and how it's already flaked out with any kinks by the time he's done. Okay, Ryan?
You step out of line, you make one false move, you're out of here. Don't think you're the first.
He'll pulse out basically around a 90. Now it's out of the bail, he can start calling for water now. There you go.
That eliminates a lot of the pile of hose that we normally have when we drop most of the load on the ground before going to the front door. Now all you have here is most you'll have is a couple folds. When water pressure is applied, it'll expand and eliminate most of the kinks.
You go, we go.
Okay, so they were kind of racing to see who could get water going first, but in the rush to pull the Minuteman, we got a little bit of a kink over here in the bed, which cleared itself up in the air, but we've got line that we can't use. On the other side of the engine, there was a bite on the ground that's kind of like in a donut up under the tire, and you can see we still have a little bit of line over by the nozzle, whereas with the triple load, when he charged it, it's already laid out, there's no kinks. You can be assured that when that thing comes tight, you got it all out of the bed, pulled it out of the bale and called for water, and now this all opened up on its own, and he's ready to advance with the line already in the correct direction.
All right, so we're going to deploy it to the what?
We're going to go to door 7? What do you want? The walkway? What do you want?
Yeah, it's supposed to go to the walkway. That's a little.
You guys both make the turn at the walkway there. And we say go.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
You see that triple load, once he gets moving, it just slides right out of there.
Yeah, you can see how this triple loads, at least it's all laid out. All the lines are parallel. If it gets charged, it's going to just unfold. Where this one here is going to have at least one knot there. I've got a kink in that line, and he's got excess at the end. So we all know what that's like. And you saw how the ease of coming off the truck was. I mean, it pulled right off versus, you know, busting your back, and that came off relatively easily compared to some of, as well as you guys know, how hard it is if they come off at all. Sometimes two guys need to pull on it and get jammed up in there. So it definitely has its benefits.
Okay, so here's the pistol grip on the nozzles. Some of our nozzles, except the pistol grip, they have a channel in the bottom. And we're going to outfit, we have 2 right now that we're going to put on, one on 25 and one on 21. And with the triple load, it's a little easier to put them in with the hose loads that way instead of the Minuteman. That'll give the guys a better grip, a little more maneuverability with the hose. And eventually, hopefully, we'll get more pistol grips where we have the nozzles with channels. Okay, so this is the way we're going to pack the triple load. It's also known as an S load. And basically the guys have the line all stretched out like they would have after a fire. And the first thing they're going to do is they're going to triple up the line to treat it as one. So they're going to make sure it lies all flat. It doesn't have to be on top of itself, but they're going to lay it out flat in a 3-part section. Okay.
Okay, first you're going to make it level.
So they're going to lay the hose out in 3 parts to about where the hose touches the ground at the pump panel. And now they're just going to adjust the lengths, which you can do either way. One end happens to come up short and the other end's too long. And they want to just get the bite of the line even with the nozzle. This is the whole goal at the other end where Ryan is.
Good.
Okay. So now the nozzle's even with the bite of the line, and we basically got the line tripled up, hence the triple load. And now they're going to load that into the engine as one. Bite of the line through the bale to keep it as one piece.
You want to leave this coupling still exposed, so if we do have to take this off as a full load, you'll be able to disconnect and take the whole load at once.
Now basically we're just going to load this hose tripled up as a flat load.
Good with that? Don't need the loops anymore.
Roll the hose now.
You're just going to have to adjust the end. You just have to adjust the end of the line from time to time. But it doesn't matter if it's, as long as it's through the bale, it can be a little longer. So now that's the load with the pistol grip ready to be deployed and the nozzles on the side that you're going to pull it from.
The funny thing about firemen, night and day, they're always firemen.
Ready to go? Let me know. I'll hold this. You do that. I get your head in the way, Brendan. Put the thing on the other side.
I can't get my hand down there. It's all right.
Good count, ready to go? End up being a twist in that. Something ain't right. I got a twist in one now. Oh well, never mind. It should be all right.
Good?
Yep. Hold up, guys.
Hold on. Hold.
Okay. I spun it on the swivel. A little bit. There you go. Take a bite back.
All right, let's do it.
We're just on a day after wrap up and talking with the guys from the group that did the triple load drill the other day, just to show us how that's all going, and Val had some time to think about it and see how things went. Ryan, how did you think things went?
I think it went well. It's a different hose load, a lot different than what we're all used to, but I think it just comes off the truck much faster. You showed over and over that you beat the Minuteman load with this triple load. It just pulls right off. You have no problem with the corners. The biggest problem you have is the two kinks, and as soon as you charge that line, they just widen right out, and there's usually no problem because it's not all, no spaghetti piles, nothing like that. So it went well for us. Around corners, everything. The other benefit too is the pistol grips that we can put back onto the trucks that are, some of the guys have decided that they liked. So we liked it. It's safe for the group, I think, all in all.
Yeah, that's good. I appreciate your efforts the other day. I know it was a lot of work taking all the hose off and putting it back on. I think you probably, you know, did it probably like 4 or 5 times probably, packed the line and everything else, so.
Right.
There's a lot of work starting on something new, and I appreciate it. And, you know, I think about, well, that was my first time seeing it the other day.
Yeah.
And I heard a lot of talk about it, and, you know, my thinking was looking around for something perhaps that's easier for us to do, and something that, you know, gets rid of that tangled mess that we have, and that seemed to be a solution to it, so.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Thrasher, what'd you think in overall? I know you had some thoughts, and you did a little extra experiments as well.
Right. The one thing the video won't show everybody is we had tried the triple load. You asked us to try flat load, and we had done a bunch of experimenting previously to the filming, and a lot of people didn't see. There was concerns we had about the type of hose we'd be using, so we had loaded engine 21 with the vinyl hose. Because some of the engines still haven't been changed over all to the ponds, and we wanted. There was concern it would load well. There was also concern it would deploy as well, and we found no difference. It loaded fine, and it came off just as fast. The other concern was we had parked the engine differently the first time, and we were actually pulling off the back of the engine for a short distance and doubling back to the front, because it was concerned with the Minuteman where you get the hose load all on your shoulder and you can go wherever you want with the load. With the triple load, you're pulling it all out of the bed. And it worked quite well. It rolled right around the handles on the back of the engine, and we could still go where we wanted with it without any problem. We also pulled at different angles with the Matadale cross lace there. So, however we tried, you know, to work it, it worked fine. People also noticed that even in a few times where the Minuteman isn't far behind the triple O, you can just see how much easier it is for the guy to grab the pistol grip up top with the bite through the bail and just go with it. He's not struggling to get anything on his shoulders. And these loads haven't been in there a while. Sometimes it's tough to get the load out of the back. The 200-footers out of the back of the engine. You're trying to pull all that hose out. We also did try a flat load, and I guess the concern with the Minuteman was a lot of times we get the hose to the door, and then we have all of that on our shoulders, so we're either faking it out in front of the door or doing a little more moving around to get the hose out of the way. But at least you have the hose at the door where you want to go in. When we did the flat load, we found the engine driver started getting a little more involved, and the person had to go back to pull the remaining hose out, and because we wanted to test this as a single-man deployment, and we found we ended up having hose at the engine, which is almost worse than the Minuteman because now you have it where you don't need it. And the triple load evenly distributed the load, you know, all along the pathway to where you were going, and then it was heading in the right direction to pull it further. So we were very happy with it and all of the different scenarios we tried. And, the group, overwhelmingly, all the guys at headquarters in Shift 4, they liked it. I asked them, so what's your opinion? Do you think it's worthwhile pursuing it? And it was unanimous that the guys all were really interested in it, and they were thinking it would be a nice way, like Ryan said, to get the pistol grips back on there and try out something new.
Yeah. Now, do you think it might be something that could work for the 2.5?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be something we'd like to see how this goes, and hopefully people have an open mind and try it out, and wouldn't mind trying it on the 200, on the 200-footer in the back, and the 2-inch and 2.5, and see how it goes, and see if it works. I don't know. I've never used it that way, and we were just trying to deal with the 1 3/4 attack lines, and it's always something we can try.
Yeah, good. All right, well, good. Thank you guys for a little day after wrap-up. So have a safe day.
Thank you.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire. Now, Mr. Evil.
Dr. Evil. I didn't spend 6 years in evil medical school to be called Mr. Thank you very much.